Welcome to Friday, you chlorine enthusiast, you water wizard, you. Today, we're going to dive into the highly entertaining world of sustainability, eco-friendly, and the kinetics of chlorine decomposition in outdoor pools. Yes, hold your excitement. I know it's riveting. It'll be a laugh-a-minute thrill ride through this photochemical and thermal degradation of everybody's favorite chemical duo, hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ions.
Here with your tip of the day. Listen, keeping that water crystal clear is like keeping your life in check. A balance is key. You got to test your pool's pH levels, just like you check yourself when things get heated. Keep it cool, keep it balanced, and your pool will be smooth sailing.
Tip of the day is brought to you by Coachella Valley Pools of Instagram.
As a pool owner, servicer, or property manager, I'm sure you've experienced the frustration in dealing with a faulty pool heater. Pool water can be extremely harsh on traditional heat exchangers, shortening the lifespan and costing frequent repairs. That's why Raypak created an exclusive solution. NITEC, with 900% more nickel compared to cupronickel in critical surfaces to protect against scale formation and erosion. If you're looking for longevity, efficiency, and strength in your product, head over to raypak.com/NITEC. Again, raypak.com/NITEC. Hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ions. Truly, what else could you need when you got that? Now, first, our leading stars, hypochlorous acid, or as I like to call it, HOCl. HOCl. No, you shouldn't pronounce that. It's a delightful little thing floating about in your pool, killing off nasty microorganisms and keeping the water fresh and free of plagues. But alas, like all good things in life, such as cheese or wine, HOCl does not last forever. Oh no, it has a terrible habit of breaking down. Why? Because of UV radiation. Yes, that very thing that gives us sunburns and feeds the plants is also the arch nemesis of chlorine. Hypochlorous acid, like an overexposed vampire at a beach party, if you will. It's blasted by UV rays and poof, it decomposes faster than my career prospects after this episode. But wait, there's more. Chlorine doesn't just get zapped by UV. No. Hypochlorite ions, that's OCl negative, for those who enjoy writing equations just for fun, also join the party, hypochlorite ions, of decomposition. This is the stuff that lurks in your pool when the pH gets a little bit cheeky. It's like the underdog of chlorine species, less effective at killing germs, but equally brilliant at getting destroyed by sunlight. Bravo, OCl negative. Well done. Let me show you how it works. When exposed to UV radiation, the lovely hypochlorous acid absorbs a photon. It gets all excited, as we all do, and then kaboom, splits into radicals. Now, radicals are not a group of rebellious teenagers. No. These hydroxyl radicals and chlorine radicals, they're the chemical version of a bad breakup. Destructive, unpredictable, and occasionally flammable. Hydroxide radicals here, chlorine radicals there. Before you know it, your pool is a chemistry set gone awry. Not exactly what you had in mind for a relaxing day scooping leaves from a pool. Now, you might be asking why. Why does this happen? Well, it's quite simple. Chlorine loves to bathe in the sunlight, but it has the skin durability of a soggy biscuit. So when UV rays hit, the poor chlorine just crumbles under the pressure. It's like watching the zombies in The Walking Dead where all of them just decompose. But wait, that's not the only way our dear chlorine bites the dust. No. Thermal decomposition is another culprit. Yes, heat. The sun strikes again. This time by making the chlorine get so hot, it just gives up. It falls apart. It surrenders like a soggy towel in a sauna. The hotter the water, the faster the chlorine decomposes. It's science. If your pool hits 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 30 degrees Celsius for our metric friends in the rest of the world, it's like watching chlorine do the 100-meter dash straight out of your pool and into the abyss. And what do we get from all of this? Oxygen gas and chloride ion. Just what you wanted, right? No more chlorine to clean the pool. Just lots of pretty little ions floating around, having a party. And do you think that's the end of it? No! Because, and this is the best part, sometimes UV and heat team up. Yes, those two villains join forces like the evil masterminds they are. Together, they decompose chlorine at double the speed. It's like chlorine has been caught in a really bad action movie and terrible special effects, and there's absolutely no plot. Now, my telepole-wielding friends, you may wonder, what can you do? How can we save poor chlorine from such a cruel fate? Well, enter cyanuric acid, the superhero of our story. This fabulous chemical swoops in and protects chlorine from these nasty UV rays. It's like sunscreen for chlorine, shielding it from the harsh light of the sun so it can continue its germ-killing rampage in peace. So, breaking it down, the sun is trying to destroy your chlorine. The heat is in on the plot. Chlorine is fragile and it's prone to decomposition and not really cut out for the outdoors, but with the right science and a good dose of preventative chemicals, you can keep it alive. Chlorine may decompose, but your love of pool service will never die. Okay, now, without the drama, the kinetics of chlorine decomposition, looking at the degradation pathways of both hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ion in outdoor pools. In aqueous solutions, chlorine exists primarily as hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ion, depending on the pH of the water. When chlorine gas is introduced to the water, it dissolves and it undergoes hydrolysis. Hypochlorous acid further dissociates into hypochlorite ions based on the pH of, again, the percentage of one over the other. It's pH dependent. At lower pH levels, let's say less than 7.5, HOCl, hypochlorous acid, dominates. While at higher pH levels, hypochlorite ion, OCl negative, becomes the predominant species. The disinfection of chlorine is largely attributed to hypochlorous acid, which is more effective as a biocidal agent compared to hypochlorite ion. However, both species undergo decomposition, particularly when exposed to sunlight and elevated temperatures, which compromises their effectiveness in outdoor pools. One of the most significant pathways for chlorine decomposition in outdoor pools is via photochemical reactions, primarily driven by ultraviolet light. The absorption of UV radiation by hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ions leads to their degradation into various byproducts. It's a process that can severely limit chlorine's longevity in pool water. So, hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ion both absorb light in the UV range, with peak absorption rates somewhere between 230 to 260 nanometers for hypochlorous acid and 290 to 320 nanometers for hypochlorite ion. Upon absorbing photons in these ranges, the chlorine species get excited into higher energy states. This leads to bond dissociation and the formation of radical species. The hydroxyl radical and the chlorine radical formed in this reaction are highly reactive intermediates. So these radicals can either recombine to form a non-reactive species or initiate further reactions such as the oxidation of organic compounds present in the pool water. For hypochlorite ions, the photodecomposition pathway is similar, though it requires higher energy photons. The oxygen radical generated from hypochlorite photolysis can undergo secondary reactions that further contribute to chlorine depletion. The rate of photochemical decomposition of hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ions, that's governed by several different factors, including the intensity and wavelength of UV radiation, the concentration of chlorine species, and the presence of any dissolved organic matter. In outdoor pools, sunlight serves as a continuous source of UV radiation, particularly in the UVB, that's the 280 to 320 nanometer range, and UVC, which is the 200 to 280 nanometer regions, both of which are capable of driving chlorine degradation. The thermal stability of these chlorine species is influenced by both the ambient temperature and the concentration of chlorine in the water. So the thermal decomposition of hypochlorous acid occurs in a homolytic cleavage of the oxygen chloride bond, which leads to the formation of oxygen gas and chloride ions. This reaction is temperature dependent, with higher temperatures accelerating the rate of decomposition. The rate of this thermal process can best be described by the Arrhenius equation. So for hypochlorite ions, the thermal decomposition follows a similar pathway, though it tends to occur at a slower rate due to the greater bond strength in a hypochlorite ion. The primary products of hypochlorite ion decomposition is chloride ions and molecular oxygen, with the rate constant being smaller than that of hypochlorous acid. The decomposition rates of both HOCl and OCl negative increase exponentially with temperature. In outdoor pools, water temperatures can fluctuate significantly depending on the geographic location and then seasonal variations. At 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which for our friends around the rest of the world is 20 degrees Celsius, the thermal decomposition of hypochlorous acid, that's relatively slow. However, at temperatures exceeding 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 30 degrees Celsius, the decomposition rate can increase by an order of magnitude or more. So again, just keep in mind that the hypochlorite ion is more thermally stable than hypochlorous acid, although both species are susceptible to significant decomposition at elevated temperatures. In outdoor pools, chlorine decomposition is often driven by a combination of photochemical and thermal processes. Such the combined effects of these factors can lead to complex decomposition kinetics that are not easily predictable by considering photolysis and thermal degradation in isolation. Studies have shown that simultaneous exposure of hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ion to UV light and elevated temperatures can lead to some synergistic effects, where the rate of chlorine decomposition exceeds the sum of the individual photochemical and thermal rates. This is due to the enhanced reactivity of the radical species generated by photolysis at higher temperatures, as well as the increased energy available for bond dissociation in warmer water. For instance, the hydroxyl radicals formed during hypochlorous acid photolysis are more reactive at elevated temperatures. This leads to faster secondary reactions that further accelerate chlorine depletion. Similarly, the thermal decomposition of hypochlorite ion is enhanced in the presence of UV light, as the energy from the UV photons can lower the activation energy required for bond cleavage. Pool operators need to account for both photochemical and thermal degradation when determining the frequency and amount of chlorine additions, particularly during periods of high sunlight exposure and elevated temperatures. In practice, stabilizers such as cyanuric acid acts as a UV absorber. It protects the hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ion to a certain extent from direct UV exposure by forming a weak complex with the chlorine species. This significantly reduces the rate of photolysis, though it can also complicate chlorine kinetics by altering the equilibrium between free chlorine and bound chlorine. So the kinetics of chlorine decomposition in outdoor pools are governed by complex interactions between photochemical and thermal processes. Both hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ion are susceptible to rapid degradation under UV radiation and elevated temperatures, with the combined effects of these factors leading to significant chlorine loss. By analyzing the rates of photo decomposition and thermal decomposition, water chemistry experts can develop strategies to minimize the chlorine loss in those areas and ensure the sustained efficiency of chlorine as a disinfectant in the pools that they treat.
Pool Magazine is the hottest new publication for the pool and spa industry, featuring up-to-the-minute news on what's happening in the pool world in a fresh new stylized format with our mobile-friendly app. Pool Magazine is the app for keeping your fingers on the pulse of the pool industry. You'll find featured news, editorials, podcasts, videos, and more on the Pool Magazine app. Download on Google Play and the App Store.
Sustainability, eco-friendly. These are words you hear associated with the new generation of pool owners coming about. They want things to be green. Another word you hear. So picture this. A pool service tech. You, that's right, you, standing heroically, chest puffed out, staring down at a pool full of, well, pool water, basically. And there, my friends, is where our tale of glorious, absurd, and slightly moist environmentalism can begin. Because today, we're going to save the planet one chemically suspicious swimming pool at a time. First, enzymes. Yes, enzymes. Lovely little things that eat oil, lotion, and probably your Aunt Mildred's eyebrow pencil. Just sprinkle them into the pool and poof, they gobble up all the gunk, just like a starved hamster at an all-you-can-eat buffet. No chlorine, no toxic fumes, just enzymes with manners, please and thank you.
Jack's Magic Products is your industry leader in identifying, removing, and preventing stains. How? With a range of high-performance, eco-friendly products, keeping pools safe, clean, and ready to use all year round. The Jack's Magic 3-step program is a quick and effective way to remove stains and scaling. First, we identify the problem, then our top-quality products will remove the discoloration. Finally, our preventative solutions will keep your pool looking like new for much longer. Get helpful tips and check out our product catalog today at jacksmagic.com.
If enzymes don't quite tickle your fancy, then let's take a look at minerals. Silver, copper, zinc, not just for coins anymore, now for your pool. These ions of elemental nobility will swoop in and banish bacteria and make algae feel utterly unwelcome, like a guest at a posh dinner party who's brought in a ferret. There's one over there. Seriously. No chlorine needed. No one drowning in chemical soup. Hoorah!
Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Are you sitting down? Oxygen-based shocks. Yes, you heard me. Oxygen in your pool. Not just for breathing anymore. These lovely little oxygen particles, they charge in, bash organic contaminants on the head, and run away laughing like hooligans. No chlorine, no chaos, just a gentle breeze of environmental smugness blowing through the backyard. But what of water conservation, you ask? This pool, my friend, is thirsty. It's guzzling gallons of water like a hungover camel at a pub. But fear not. You, the heroic pool cleaner, can save the day. Yes, with leak detection, pool covers, and, wait for it, rainwater harvesting. Yes, that's right. Catching the rain, not the runoff from the roof, should be in a big open space. Catching the rain in the wild and using it for the pool. Because why let nature be selfish with all that water when you can snatch it right out of the sky? It's practically legal theft. You just need to sell your customer the collection apparatus. Pumps, that's already taken care of. DOE ensured 2 years ago that any pump put on any pool that's 5 horsepower or less must be a variable speed pump. We can get into how these operate. We can talk about the laws of affinity in hydraulics, in physics. The way I always like to look at it is looking at running versus walking. If you were to run 1 mile full speed, giving it everything you had, not letting it up at all, just running full out, the amount of energy it took to run that mile, how far could you walk before you would expend that same amount of energy? Yeah, it's going to take you longer to get there, but how much further can you go? 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles? That's more along the lines of what we're looking at here. Yeah, we slow down the speed of the pump 50%. You may slow down the water flow 25 to 30% by doing that. The energy consumption, we're going to reduce that by 85%. Crazy, right? Just the motor alone that we're using, a permanent magnet motor, over the typical squirrel cage induction motors that we use. Switching to one of those, you save in heat loss, and we do lose about 12% of our energy in heat loss with one of those squirrel cage induction motors. You've put your hand on them before while they were running, right? Hot! They get hot to the touch. Have you done that with a variable speed pump? Huge savings in energy costs. So it's kind of like having a pump with James Bond-like qualities, except without the martinis. So in an industry traditionally reliant on chemicals and energy-intensive equipment, sustainability and pool service could give you a unique opportunity. Not just by doing it. You have to tell people you're doing it. It will appeal to those people in your market that are looking for such a thing. So today's eco-conscious clients, they are increasingly interested in reducing their carbon footprint, conserving water, minimizing chemical usage, while maintaining clean, safe pools. For a pool service entrepreneur like yourself, looking to tap into this growing market, adopting green practices not only serves the environment, but can also attract a loyal customer base for you. It can reduce your operational costs and can enhance your company's reputation among the green individuals in that market. I know specialty chemicals cost more. Well, guess what? These folks are happy to pay more if they can get something that's good for the environment. So transitioning to more sustainable operations, it can be a transformative step for any pool service business. However, it does require a deliberate shift in both mindset and methods. From water-saving technologies to eco-friendly chemicals and energy-efficient equipment, incorporating green initiatives can help your business thrive in a marketplace where environmental consciousness is more important than ever. Eco-conscious clients are typically well-informed and passionate about reducing their environmental impact. They actively seek out companies that align with their values, choosing to invest in businesses that show a commitment to sustainability. Why can't that be you? These clients are not just looking for green marketing. They do expect the real deal, tangible actions that make a difference. So don't just tell them you're green. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them you use enzymes. Tell them that you use phosphate removers. Tell them that you use minerals. By the way, all of those products can be obtained through Jack's Magic and Blu-ray XL. Jack's Magic for the phosphate removers and the enzymes, Blu-ray XL for the minerals. But it's also important to understand that your eco-conscientious clients tend to have a long-term view. They value sustainability over short-term savings and are willing to pay a premium for the services that are demonstrably environmentally friendly. This creates an opportunity, I can't say it enough, for pool service entrepreneurs like yourself to position your business as green leaders, offering not just routine pool maintenance, but also value-added services that align with the broader goals of sustainability. One of the primary concerns for the environmentally aware clients is the heavy reliance on traditional pool chemicals, particularly chlorine, which has known environmental and health impacts. By offering alternative water treatment solutions, you can significantly reduce the amount of chlorine and other chemicals used in pool maintenance while still ensuring safety and clarity. Ozone and UV systems are two highly effective methods for reducing chemical dependency. Ozone, a powerful oxidizer, can eliminate contaminants in pool water more effectively than chlorine alone. UV technology, which uses ultraviolet light to disinfect water, destroys bacteria and pathogens, significantly lowering the need for chemicals. These technologies are not only safer for swimmers, but they reduce the harmful environmental effects of byproducts. Additionally, enzyme-based pool treatments are becoming increasingly popular. Enzymes break down organic contaminants such as oils, lotions, sweat, reducing the load on traditional sanitizers. These biodegradable solutions are non-toxic, which makes them ideal for eco-conscious clients who are concerned about chemical exposure and environmental runoff. And again, don't just shift to using it. Tell everyone what you're doing. Tell people that you're using enzymes. Tell them in your advertising, in your literature, on your website, on your social media page. This is the process you use. You are truly green, and here are the products. Offering these advanced water treatment options positions you as a very forward-thinking, environmentally responsible service provider. Not only do these methods align with green practices, but they can also improve water quality and extend the life of pool equipment by reducing chemical wear and tear. Water conservation is another key component of sustainability in pool service, particularly in areas where water shortages are common, like the West Coast. That's the reason I developed the alum cyanuric acid removal method for the folks on the West Coast that are currently or constantly, year after year, facing some type of drought restrictions. So this way they could get those levels down without having to replace water. I mean, you got to consider the average swimming pool uses a significant amount of water just to replace that loss due to evaporation. One of the things that you can do, and some of you are going to hate me for this, in those areas, you can switch to using a cartridge filter. I know you can't backwash it. You have to disassemble it. You have to hose it down. So where's the water savings? There is no way that garden hose pumps water out at the speed that your pump does through your filter when it's in a backwash mode. It just can't compete. So it uses so much less water just to clean the filter alone.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable, and these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with a pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleanings faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
That is amazing. I could actually go out and make money doing filter cleans if they were like this. If they were Aquastar filters out there, then I could be a filter cleaner girl.
We can do that. Make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Todd? Love it. There you go. Awesome. Thank you, Jules the Pool Girl. Again, Aquastar Pool Products, Pipeline Filters. Super easy, right?
Super easy.
Solar covers are another great way to go because they help reduce evaporation. I know they're a giant pain in the ass. Like I always say, tell your customer, look, here's the thing. It's not on when I get there. It's not on when I leave. All the other days, have at it. Liquid solar covers are another option. They use a long-chain fatty alcohol with a spreading agent, usually something like paraffin wax, to shoot it across the surface of the pool. It's the long-chain fatty alcohol that actually prevents the heat from leaving. It's reducing evaporation without the physical hassle of a cover. And this is one of your added green chemicals that you're adding to your service that makes you different, that makes you special. And again, like I mentioned before, rainwater harvesting systems do exist. And the beauty of rainwater is for the most part, it's pure. It's going to pick up whatever is in the air where you live. So if you're collecting rainwater in Manhattan or Los Angeles, I would expect it to be full of contaminants. However, in other parts of the country where you're further away from factories, further away from cities, it's ideal. People do that now for drinking water. Don't use the gutter from the house. Don't use roof runoff. It's going to collect all the crap that's up there. We don't want that. Just the water from the sky. I'd be remiss if we didn't mention the law on light bulbs, the light bulb law, where incandescent bulbs became illegal. Now, when your light bulb goes out in your pool, you're going to have to replace it with an LED, which is also a green way to go. We don't have a choice on that one. Like the variable speed pump, we don't have a choice on that or the LED light. It's actually the second federal pool law, that variable speed pump law, the first one being the Virginia Graham-Baker Act. So just keep in mind, switching to eco-friendly cleaning practices can help reduce your carbon footprint while appealing to the clients who prioritize sustainability. Adopting sustainable practices, again, it's not the only part of the equation. You have to tell people. So to truly attract eco-conscious clients, you gotta effectively market your business as a green service provider. This means communicating the steps that you're taking to reduce environmental impact, offering educational materials to clients, and creating a brand identity that resonates with eco-conscious values. Use your website, social media platforms, marketing materials to highlight your commitment to sustainability. Offer clear explanations of the benefits of the eco-friendly practices you've adopted, from reducing chemical usage to conserving water and energy. Showcase the positive environmental impact that these practices have, such as lower carbon emissions, less chemical runoff, reduced energy consumption. Transparency is key. Clients want to know exactly how you're making a difference. So be sure to tell them. That's all I got for you this week. Until next time, be good, be safe.